right, so today's video, we got a weekly recall that I know this came out a few days ago. We weren't on when it came out, so I figured we'd read about it anyway, since this is Season 18. One of the major focal points is, a perk refresh is what they were calling it. So we'll see what they say about perks. I haven't seen a ton of it yet or read any of it, so it's kind of new to me too, so we'll see. And then if not, at the very least, we talk about perks. Hey everyone, it's Scott Kennedy, back for another weekly recall, taking you behind the scenes as we gear up for Season 18. This time around, we're going to learn more about perks. I love how they have Custa doing the blogs now. Feels good. Obviously, Scott is Custa. So, when we introduced the perk system in Season 15, it was the largest fundamental change to core gameplay since Overwatch 2 launched. Our team worked with a cautious hand to ensure you could feel empowered playing all of your favorite heroes without moving away from the core fundamentals of Overwatch. It's never fun to get demolished by the enemy team and not understand why. Okay. I mean, just to talk about perks in general, I think perks were a good addition to the game. I do think that, and again, I'm sure they'll talk more about it in the blog post. The number one issue I've had with perks has been some heroes that feels like you have such a depth to your character that you can choose from. And this actually happens in Stadium also. And other characters feel like you either have one you have to lock in, or your variety of options just aren't that good to choose from. So I think Season 18, one of the things they're trying to address is to make it so you have choice again, right? Because perks from a meta point of view aren't going to be as exciting if you have a direct perk path that you have to take, right? Having an option to change your character is what perks are about and what they want to do. So that's what I'm excited to see where they go going into Season 18. So here we go. Thankfully, your feedback has been mostly positive and extremely helpful from a design perspective. Heading into Season 18, we're using what we've learned over the past few months to turn up the heat and invent bigger, bolder perks that better align to our core philosophies, taking the place of perks that didn't quite hit the way we thought they would. There's something for everyone too. Each hero will be getting at least one new perk to play with when Season 18 launches August 26th. Now, again, that's great. Every hero getting a new perk, I like it. All right, pondering the perks. Our goal when developing and maintaining perks was to build a system within Overwatch that added dimension, strategy, and new ways to enjoy playing your favorite heroes. It's important to us that perks not only feel impactful within a match, but also fun to use, all while being easy to understand. I'll read a little bit more before I go into some of those points of that one, but breaking it down even further, minor perks should feel beneficial for your hero. You're going to find value with them and can use them to improve parts of a kit based on your specific playstyle. Major perks, on the other hand, should feel transformative. They should change the way that you think about an ability or affect the way you play the rest of the match. To us, many perks were successful in this pursuit. When deciding which perks to tune up, tune down, refresh, or remove altogether, we work with those philosophies. Internal data like perk pick rates and hero win rates with certain perks equipped is important, as is player feedback. But for this big refresh, we looked at things through the lens of aligning with our original goals. Now, I think an example of I'm trying to think of good examples of perks that I feel like have fun depth to them, and then perks that okay, Ana, for example, I felt like all those perks hit. Am I thinking of it right? Is Ana? So Ana has the crit perk, the Ana grenade perk, the groggy perk, and the nano yourself perk, right? And when I think about that, I think about how you have choice based off of what's going on. Playing against somebody you know is going to play Doomfist the whole time. Groggy seems like a pretty good option rather than the double grenade, right? I meant the double grenade one, by the way, chat. That seems like a good option. You played against a more passive team that doesn't really go for backline pressure. You know what? I can crit now. Hey, they're diving me a lot. Now I can nano myself. It changes the playstyle. Really good option of that. I feel like D.Va, I don't want to use D.Va as an example, because I think they did improve the perks recently in the major category. But prior to them improving the major perk, one of the problems was you would pretty much always go the shield one. Now they buffed the rocket one. It gives you more opportunity. A little bit concerned on some of the minor perks didn't feel as they hit as hard, etc. But that's something you can fix. Point being is that some heroes have 4 really solid perks. Some heroes have 2 perks, 3 perks, and I think that's something they need to learn. So yeah, Echo probably has one of the worst perk options. Yeah, I know there's been some updates on some of that, but we'll see. All right, so they say I didn't catch some of the stuff from the dev stream either on what they did perk wise. Okay, so it says time for an upgrade for each hero. We tried to see what their kit was missing as far as current perks were concerned and where improvements could be made. We also wanted to move away from a trend where we noticed where certain minor and major perks synergize together and amplified the same ability, essentially doubling down on part of a hero's kit. Two of Juno's current perks, Familiar Vitals and the Locked On perk, revolve around her pulsar torpedoes. Choosing both gives you some serious projectile power, but those two perks overwhelmingly ended up being the default options for Juno in most players' eyes. In Season 18, we want to add more utility to Juno's kit with less overlap. Faster Blaster, her new major perk, makes Juno's Medi Blaster automatic while Glide Boost is active, combining improved weapon damage with the movement ability for those of you who like to play fast and furious. Locked On will also move to the minor perk role directly against Familiar Vitals, meaning you'll have to pick between reducing the cooldown of your pulsar torpedoes or letting them aim more quickly. This choice will depend on the team around you, the enemies against you, and the match in front of you. Well, I don't know how the perk is going to work for Juno, but I do think what they're doing now is, in the minor perk section, what they're doing now is and they kind of explained it, is taking away this will buff one ability with two perks and making you decide that. It's kind of something I've seen in WoW sometimes. In WoW, like, you have, like, I don't know, an example would be a mage, right? Like, you have an ability called Cone of Cold, and what they will do with it is they'll allow you to have more crit damage, or it does more damage or something, right? And you or it does, like, more, like, regular damage without the crit, right? Something like that. And what it does is it makes you make a choice. Is your playstyle more about going for crits, or is your playstyle more about just doing more damage without having... Again, that's not what they do. I'm just coming up with, like, a random example of what they could do. And the point I'm making is I think that's what they're trying to do now is... And they kind of explain it. Don't give you a direct path of, like, oh, this will buff this, and then you have to get this because why not? You synergize. It's make a choice. So we'll see. I don't know how this Glide Boost one's going to work, but we'll see. Some heroes have perk options that already offer a variety of choices for multiple playstyles, but they need a little boost to better compete with others in their role. Yeah, I haven't seen how the Juno perk's gonna work. Like, I see where it says it's gonna be automatic. Is that like you just hold your left click down? Like if you're playing Soldier 76? Like, is that how that means? Is that what that means? Like, that's gonna be interesting. Scatter Arrow enthusiasts got their wish with Hanzo's current minor perk, which makes his Storm Arrow split into 3 new projectiles that bounce an additional 2 times. It's a popular and fun perk, but it hasn't made much of a difference as far as damage dealing is concerned. For Season 18, we're moving Scatter Arrow to a major perk slot and making it a bit more ferocious while maintaining balance. Storm Arrows will split into 5 arrows upon first ricochet and do 33% of normal damage for a possible total of 166% damage if your simple geometry is right. How much damage does that do to a tank again? Because I want to reiterate that the problem that people ran into with Scatter Arrow was on tanks, right? It wasn't like you would still get one shot by a Hanzo as DPS, right? So, but tanks, it would one shot tanks. So as long as it doesn't one shot tanks, that would be good. But when people get good at this, people just, I don't know what the numbers are. I guess we can look at that next season with the new patch they're having that's going to show that. So 500, you said like 500 damage, so you could one-shot Zarya. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm concerned about that as a tank, but I want to give it time again. I don't want to overreact to stuff that I don't know how it's going to play, so I'm sure it's fine. I think the math probably is fine, but we'll see. So we're entering a DPS era? I mean, I think you already have, haven't you? I mean, the only reason, okay, let's think about this. And talking about DPS era, I think you're actually ending everybody DPS's era, but like, I want you to think about this. If the armor bug didn't exist right now, where would tanks stand? I don't know the answer to that. And that's going to be a very good question once they do fix that bug. Because right now, we know you can play, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean by that, is we don't really know until that bug is fixed. And then once that bug is fixed, I mean, there's a lot coming next season too that will be interesting for tanks. Due to this, we're removing Shrike. Oh, wait, sorry, I skipped a paragraph. Other heroes are suffering from success, enjoying perks that make the enemy's team experience more frustrating than fun. Ana's major perk, Shrike, is the only major that directly affects and hugely improves an ultimate ability, giving her a little too much power. Due to this, we're removing Shrike. Before you get your pitchforks out, Biotic Bounce, another hugely popular Ana perk, is moving to a major slot with bonus buffs. Ana also gets a new minor perk, Speed Serum, which grants 40% movement speed to both Ana and her target once Nano Boost is cast. She's still got the juice. I guess they want people to get the crit one more? I don't know, it's hard to say. Like, I still feel like the Nano was just fun for the Ana. I think that would have been a better option just to let Ana... I don't know. I've always wanted Ana to be able to Nano herself, but would that cause the same problems? I don't know. Anyway, that people will probably pick that one guaranteed, which is kind of what they're trying to stray away from, is the guarantee of what people are picking on that one. So anyway, dreaming bigger. While lots of perks are being improved or reimagined, Season 18 includes a ton of brand new perks that we hope will add more nuance and strategic choices to hero kits. We can't spoil all of them before Season 18 drops, but there are a few that deserve a shout out. Along with her sparkly mythic skin, Sojourn will get a new major perk next season called Friction Generators. Her power slide will generate up to 50 energy for her primary weapon, which can be used to power up before an attack or delay railgun energy decay between fights. Okay, we'll be keeping a close eye on how this perk meshes with additional base kit changes to Sojourn in Season 18. Wait, base kit changes to Sojourn. Now I'm curious, what does that mean? But we believe it adds another layer of strategy for you to work with. You'll now have to decide whether to use Power Slide to escape a fight or to kick one off. Also, for anybody who doesn't know this, it was discovered recently that Sojourn also is going to have the... Is it the slow back on the AoE? So if you didn't play at the beginning of Overwatch 2, Sojourn had this slow on her disruptor shot. That's like your AoE. And no one really liked playing against it. So they're bringing it back. To what effectiveness, I don't know. I don't remember seeing the numbers on it. How good it will be, I can't say. But what I will say is if for some reason Ramatra stays in the meta, I get really concerned about Vortex and Sojourn slow, like how they're going to synergize. Because anyway, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, well, it's going to be a perk. It's just I'm concerned on that type of synergy, but we'll see. Anyway, I just don't know because I haven't played or seen the actual data on it yet. So anyway, it's always exciting for us when perks check the boxes of useful and wildly fun at the same time. Everyone's favorite rock enthusiast Venture is one of the few heroes whose abilities don't take up every slot or button on console available to them. We're adding Smart Extender as a major perk to take advantage of this free real estate. It increases Venture's maximum projectile range by 100% to enable them to finish off wow, that's a huge range. To enable them to finish off enemies that were previously out of reach while keeping their Explorer's resolves shields high. Keep in mind with Venture right now, there's also a bug with Venture where you're getting a little bit extra HP than you should off of one of the perks, so we'll see how that plays out, or if that takes away from that perk, or if they fix that. But that is a long range, yeah. And it says, so we can't wait to, and then it says, we can't wait to see what you do with these new and improved perks. Thanks for reading. Good luck and have fun. Yeah, it's, again, hard to predict how this will go when I just don't have it. I'm not playing it. I don't know how it is, but I'm glad they're at least making a perk refresh. I think that's important for a system like perks. I think if they had left perks as is, eventually it would have kind of hit that, like, you don't even realize it half the time that you're using your perks. You're just hitting buttons. So hopefully most of them kind of hit the mark. I mean, there's still going to be ones that miss, but the further they get away from those misses and have more hits, I think is going to be great. So I'm excited to see where it goes, and obviously we'll cover all that stuff hopefully next week. Maybe we'll get the stuff early so we can kind of do those videos that we've been doing recently. People have really liked those. So anyway, if you like the video, hit the like button. Hope you enjoyed the blog post, and yeah, more news for season 18 coming this week. So hope you enjoyed, and hope you all have an amazing day / night.